Hello, it's me again, Maureen. Today I'm going to share with you an example. This particular story revolves around a brilliant mathematician who was deeply involved in the field of artificial intelligence and tragically met his demise due to cyanide poisoning. Alan Turing. Let's first take a look at his BaZi 4 Pillars of Destiny chart. He was born on June 23rd, 1912. That was the Renzi year and the Bingwu month. The day was Gengwu Day. The 6 characters from the 3 pillars indicate weak metal. For weak metal, the primary useful element is earth, of course. The second is metal. As for the third, is fire good or bad? We'll find out later. The elements to avoid are water and wood. Now look at these 2 dates. What are these 2 dates? They are May 14th, 1954. Why did I specifically write this down? It turns out, when I looked back at history, he was actually very interested in fortune telling. On this particular and memorable day, he went to a beautiful beach with some of his good friends. There, quite unexpectedly, he encountered a mysterious fortune teller. Because he was very interested and had always been somewhat a believer, he decided to go see the fortune teller. After the session, his friends noticed that he seemed very preoccupied and quite unhappy. And then it was May 14th. When I look back at what he wrote about mid-May, I guessed that it must have been May 14th. Why is that? Because you can see a lot of fire. At that time, he actually disliked fire. So this fire should be considered his 3rd taboo. It was after that day, up until June 7th, they said he committed suicide. But some people said it wasn't suicide. In any case, he died from cyanide poisoning. Here you can see that in the same year, 1954, the month was the GC month, which is also a fire month. The day was a Gengwu Day. Then a Wu Day. Wu Day, Wu Day, Wu Day. The character form of Wu, the Wu Day, it's extremely fiery, extremely fiery, extremely fiery. Fire burns metal. Fire overcomes metal. So what does this have to do with metal? He is weak metal. With such strong fire, if it burns his metal, if it overcomes his metal, of course something will happen. Metal represents his respiratory system. But we can go back to June 7th that day. June 7th, 1954, same thing. He was found by someone. He was in his own room, a very small room. He had done a lot of research there. There were many chemicals there. There was an apple by his bedside. A piece had been bitten off, and there was still 1 bite left. They suspected whether the apple had absorbed cyanide. And after he ate the apple, something happened to him. At the time of his death, it was the month of Jiawu year, the month of Gengwu, and the day was Jiawu Day. You can see that the whole chart is fire. Wu, Wu, Wu all represent fire. Fire is the character form. This Wu character is the same as these other Wu characters. Originally here, Wu Wu is self-punishment, so it ends up being closely related to fire. Fire has a very strong connection here. Because the report said it was cyanide poisoning. As everyone knows, cyanide is colorless. You can't see it, but its taste is bitter and astringent. It's similar to the bitter, astringent taste of almonds. Everyone knows that the taste of fire is bitter. So you can see that here it's fire that caused the problem. Fire can melt metal. Looking back at the reports on cyanide, it turns out that once you inhale it into your body, your blood will be poisoned very quickly, and the blood values in your body will drop within 2 or 3 minutes. And it drops drastically. That's the first point. The second is that it affects our respiratory system, causing you to die from asphyxiation. So both the respiratory system and our tendons are affected. So at that time, there was just so much fire. Woo-woo self-punishment. This woo is also related to this self-punishment. And this is Jia and Geng together. This is woo-woo self-punishment. In short, it's all fire. So he should be brought down. He shouldn't be up there. It should be like this. Fire is unfavorable to him. Jia and Geng clash again. This Jia and Geng clash again. This metal, his metal is being burned by fire. This metal is like the respiratory system. Because you are poisoned by cyanide, the respiratory system is the most easily affected, causing you to die from asphyxiation. Fire, blood poisoning. So in this example, you can see it really is related to fire. because that smell is a bitter taste, which is the bitter taste of fire. Fire is black metal, and metal represents his respiratory system, which causes him to suffocate. So if we are interested in studying these things, actually, there are many. In this BaZi chart, we can see a lot of things. It turns out that our 5 elements are closely related to our bodies. When we have learned this BaZi beginner class, and you understand the heavenly stems and earthly branches, and the cycles of Locke, if you want to go a bit deeper, after learning BaZi beginner, then you can study BaZi Health. BaZi Health will talk about the 5 organs in our body and their relationship with the 5 elements. The 5 organs are our heart, liver, spleen, lungs, and kidneys. The heart belongs to fire, is associated with fire, and fire is right here. So this area represents fire. Fire is related to metal. Metal represents our respiratory system, and the taste of fire is bitter. It matches perfectly. If you're interested, click this link and you can enroll. Or if you prefer, besides these, we also have Master Lo Hang Lab's BaZi application course, BaZi advanced course, Feng Shui application, and Feng Shui advanced. You can also find them in the link and see which courses you'd like to learn. Just click to start the class. That's all for today. I'll share more with you next time. Bye bye.